Vermilion Lloydminster.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Albertans are united in their support for the expansion of the Trans Mountain Pipeline. Unfortunately, vocal and very active opponents to this project are creating great uncertainty that jeopardizes the project moving forward. Now, while I do not doubt the sincerity of those who insist this pipeline will be built, and I certainly hope they're right, even they must know that there is a risk that Kinder Morgan will shelve the project to the Premier. Good business practice dictates that we have a Plan B. Does the government have a Plan B? And if so, what is it?
The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Mr. Speaker, when our country joined Confederation, many provinces said we need to get a railway from coast to coast. And, Mr. Speaker, that happened. And the same thing needs to happen with our product to Tidewater, Mr. Speaker. That's why we are moving on the three fronts to ensure that our pipeline to Tidewater gets built, Mr. Speaker, because we won't take no for an option. We need to be responsible. We need to act like investors. And investors make sure that they have multiple buyers. And that's why we will take a public stake if it comes to that.
For supplemental.
Well, Mr. Speaker, there's been a lot of talk about tools and toolboxes in recent days, but forgive me if I want to bring our focus back to the project at hand. If the Trans Mountain expansion is cancelled, all the tools in the world aren't going to revive it. So given that any prudent plan includes developing a contingency in the event that Plan A runs into problems, and given that a number of alternatives to Trans Mountain exist, and it could in fact provide us with leverage in our negotiations with BC and the federal government to the Premier, what discussions have been held with the proponents of the Eagle Spirit pipeline?
The Honourable Deputy Premier.
Mr. Speaker, thank you very much for the question. I'm going to stay on Trans Mountain, which I think was the thread of the first question, and the supplementals there relate. So what I do want to say is that the Premier is meeting this afternoon with the Federal Finance Minister. This is an important meeting for us, Mr. Speaker, and it's important to all Canadians because this is a project in the national interest. It has the ability, of course, there will be some costs if it does become public ownership or a public stake, but it has the ability to generate billions of dollars in public revenues for the people of this province to get us the right price and to make sure that the country has a good access, a reliable port on Canadian tide to make sure that we can access those international markets.
The second supplemental.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it's interesting the minister mentioned railways because there are two other Plan B proposals that offer intriguing advantages to both Northern Alberta and Canada's Northern Territories. And they involve the construction of a railway from Northern Alberta to Alaska. And given that the benefits of such a proposal include the capacity to transport not just bitumen, but also agricultural, mineral and forest products to Asian markets through the port of Valdez, Alaska to the Premier. While the fate of Trans Mountain is in the hands of those seemingly unwilling or unable to help, will the government aggressively pursue alternatives like the G7G railway?
The Honourable Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, I have a whole division in my ministry on market access that includes rail, pipelines and that. And the Minister of Economic Development and Trade and myself have met with the G7G folks. You know, it's in its concept stage, but it's not out there that that's a possibility. But right now, Trans Mountain is much further ahead. And we can use both, Mr. Speaker, but right now we have to focus our efforts on Trans Mountain as well. So, and that pipeline will get built.
Yeah.